Hey, we're going to have some fun learning how to plan some palace activities. Go ahead and show those initial photographs. That was just a little bit of a taste of what we're going to do. I think the first thing I want to start off with is prayer. Father, I pray, Lord, you'd help us to know the seriousness of having fun. Lord, I ask that you'd today save some child from going into the world, save some teenager's purity, because we know how to have more fun. I pray, Lord, that you'd give these ladies a hearing. Give me strength, wisdom, power, and especially bless ladies that are new, maybe, to this philosophy. In Jesus' name, amen. Proverbs 17:22 says, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones." Proverbs 15:15 says, "All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast." Job 12:7-8. I love this verse, unusual verse. Listen closely. "But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee." Ecclesiastes 3:4 says, "And a time to laugh." Ecclesiastes 3:13 says, "And also that every man should eat and drink," I like that, "and enjoy the good of all his labor." It's the gift of God. The gift of God is to enjoy our labor. Having fun is a serious business. I want you to say that with me. Having fun is a serious business. If you forget everything else, and you know, ladies, it's really hard to take in. There's so much being said here. It's awesome. But most of the time, after about a week, we don't remember maybe 2 or 3% of what we've heard. And so I want you to just, if you can take away that one thought, having fun is a serious business. I want to challenge you about your philosophy on playing. Our academic vice president is Dr. Tom Vogel, and I happen to have the same philosophy he does about playing, and you can purchase one of his books out there. I'm going to just read a few lines from something he said that I thought was so good. And it's a philosophy about playing versus amusement. I love this topic. I've done a lot of fun things. It hasn't been a hard subject for me to teach. But Mrs. Scops had a burden for those of you who are parents to go home and play with your children every week. Always planning something for them. If you're not married, I want you to think about maybe your bus kids, your Sunday school class, maybe your parents. Even if you have someone that's seriously ill, I have a little section in here. I want you to think about, what could I do to make our time while my friend is sick or my parents are sick? What could we do to make our time here on earth a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, peaceful? You know, the word play has about 50 different definitions, okay? It's a very versatile word. Like, for example, play the piano. We play ball. Play. It has a lot of different, but it basically comes down to, it's not the same as work. It's generally fun. But you know, Tiger Woods, when he golfs, he's working. Okay? When my husband golfs, he's having fun. So play's just not the same as work. It's something you do that's different. And it's an escape from reality. Traditionally, play was reserved for children as they copied adults. I always wanted an easy bake oven. I never got it. When I get to heaven, I'm going to talk to my mom about that. I love cooking, and I wanted an easy bake oven, and it was an expensive toy when I was growing up. But if you remember, years ago, when kids were playing, they played with dolls, they played with lawnmowers, boys did. They played with toys to copy their parents. So traditionally, play was reserved for children as they copied the work of adults. Children played school, church, house, army, Play was an activity that children performed. It was generally practice for adulthood. That's what play was. The more sophisticated the play, the more like adulthood it became. Fantasy eventually became reality, and the child traded the pretend life for the real life. So playing is actually training. When you play with your children, you're actually training them. Playing is training. Say that with me. Playing is training, okay? I want you to take home two things. Having fun is serious business. Say it with me. Having fun is serious business. And playing is training, all right? Before television, children could play for hours without any adult supervision. I'm thankful. I had two parents that were very fun. We didn't have a TV till I was about 7 or 8 years old. And back then it was black and white, and Andy Griffith was one of the first shows that was on TV. It was a completely different world than we have now. And TV and video games are hurting our playing. When kids had experienced relationship problems years ago, they worked them out because they had time to talk them out. And playing with your children or teenagers or whatever, and I count my husband, my husband and I am married 8 years, and I've been called Miss Fry 5 times already. Hello, I've been married 8 years. And I was Miss Fry till I was 47, but now I'm married. And my husband and I don't have children. We don't have physical children. And so we have to create fun because children add a lot to your life. They add a lot, don't they, ladies? They add a lot of surprises and mystery and grandkids, and we don't have that. So we have to be kids for each other so we have fun. And it's very important. And so when you play with your children, you're socializing, you're teaching, you're learning how to do things. When you sit in front of a video screen, you're not learning. And so playing is very important. Modern day play has become a time of amusement and fun. Now, fun, believe it or not, is not found in the Bible. It's listed in the dictionary as a noun. It's defined as sport, vulgar merriment, a low word. We're going to use it in the good way, sport. We're going to take it that it's a sport. But really, amusement literally means without thinking. That's the dictionary. A lot of us think amusement is just, I don't want to think, I want to phase out. And that's what amusement has become and play has become. All of this philosophy is just to point out how modern day playtime has evolved from a serious and important part of growing up and maturation to a time of amusement that has no real part in the growing up process. An activity that was once a vital part of the maturing process, let's say playing football, let's say playing volleyball, let's say pulling taffy. I know a lot of you look at me like that's crazy, but putting up an old-fashioned Christmas tree, stringing popcorn, stringing cranberries, those were all parts of things that were carried into adulthood, okay? And we don't do that now. This has led, what we have now is we have a bunch of childish acting adults who shirk their adult responsibilities. They all want to play. The biggest industry in America today is the play and entertainment industry. Even our churches are evolving into organizations of play and entertainment. Churches that can't get members out soul winning have no problem finding a softball team. One of the great things about First Baptist Church is, Brother Scott, we have sports, but we have tons of soul winning. We're in the middle right now of a really big fall program in our adult Sunday school class, and we're having a ball. And we took the Cubs and the White Sox, and we're split up into teams, and my husband loves the Cubs. He's the manager of the Cubs, and last week they had the two managers, Kevin Frizzell and Richard Tudor, had to spit a hot dog to see who would spit it the furthest for points. And we're having a ball, and I've got some diehard White Sox fans in there. They're killing us. And right now we're losing. The Cubs are losing. What else is new? And so anyway, what's great around here is soul winning is a big activity, and you will get involved, hopefully eventually, because it's just so much fun. And we make it that way. Brother Howes a long time ago made us submit a fall program and a spring program. And even after being here for almost 36 years, I was like, what am I going to do for my fall program? I went to Loretta and got advice, and I got so excited. Now all the single adults over 25, divorced, single, widowed, they're all excited. And it's so funny to see how silly they act over baseball. You should see our room. Our room is, oh man, if you get a chance to see it, it's gorgeous. You know, half is red and blue and the other half's black and white. And it's intense. We got the scoreboard up, you know, and it's really turning into a really fun thing. It would not be so if we weren't planning the activity. Our play is a big business and it's taking over and shaping our world. Do you know they now have a company? I've thought about starting one. They have a company where parents pay a lady to put on a party for their kids because parents don't want to do it. And this woman started this play thing in her basement, and it got so successful, the neighbors got sick and tired of all the traffic on their road that they went and helped the lady get a building of her own. She's just made her first $1 million. Basically putting on parties for kids. That's all she does. You know, we've been so conditioned to the entertainment industry. You know, we've been so conditioned into this. You know, we think President Bush should solve the problems of Iraq and win the war before the commercial break. You know, we have this, everything's got to be done fast. You know, when you pull taffy, you sit and talk. When you sit around a bonfire and play a guitar and sing, you learn things about people. And you're investing in each other's lives. You don't do that when you're playing a video, when you're watching TV. And I know my husband's a sports freak, and so we enjoy sports. Right now, he was from Detroit area. He was a pastor up there. He is into Detroit. And so we don't, and of course, Saturday night the World Series starts. I will be making the popcorn and handing it over to him. But I enjoy sports now because of my husband. And it is a competition. It is a fun thing. I'm not saying you can't watch some things, but most of us, we're putting our kids in front of the TV, turning it on, giving them a video, and that's their entertainment. That is not teaching them to interact. That's not real life. They can push a button and shoot a bunch of people down or win something, and that's not reality, folks. We're not preparing them for reality. Having fun is serious business. It's a serious business. A young person could pick up a video or computer game and play for hours, completely absorbed, hypnotized. He can save the world, destroy invading armies, and win innumerable athletic events, all accompanied by flashing lights. He walks away from that playtime with the vicarious thrill of accomplishment and victory when in fact, he's absolutely done nothing. He has accomplished nothing but burning up a portion of his life on an activity that gives him a thrill, a sense of self-gratification. He leaves the video game as empty as when he started playing, and worse, he comes back to reality where he cannot push buttons and make wonderful and glorious things happen. Play is very important. I am so serious about this. I feel my husband and I, if we don't have fun every week, I feel it's extremely important for our marriage. It is an investment in how we're going to handle each other's sicknesses and death. Because you die as you live. Mrs. Evans had a beautiful death. Mrs. Evans had a rejoicing death. She was living life just as she's always lived it, and that's what you're going to do when you die. And the greatest preparation for your future, even your own children taking care of you, is you're spending time with them. Okay, so you're going to revise your philosophy on playing. Playtime is training time. Say it with me. Playtime is training time. Now, don't tell the kids that, okay? You just keep that in the back of your mind. Playtime's training time, all right? And having fun is what? Serious? Oh, that was terrible. Having fun is serious? Okay. Number next, the more standards we have, in other words, the more no's, then the more yeses we must have. The more standards, if we're not going to drink, we're not going to smoke, we're not going to go to movies, we're not going to bring in movies. This has been a long time ago, 10 years ago, Grace Guzman came to my house and she was helping me pack up some things. She said, Mrs. Tudor, you don't have any R-rated movies in your house. I said, no, I don't. She was shocked. She said, it's been my experience that most Christians do. I was sort of stunned. That was about 10 years ago. Ladies, if it's bad in the movie house, it's bad in your house. So you say, what are we going to do, Carol? I'm getting there. The more standards we have, the more no's we have. If we're going to have no's, then we want to have a lot of yeses and a lot of fun. I get my ideas in two ways. And by the way, you're going to be getting a handout with some ideas and with some themes. So I get my ideas in two ways. Remembering what I did as a child and watching children who are playing. You know, kids are so much fun. The average kid laughs over 400 times a day. The average adult, over 12. We are in sad shape, ladies. We need a merry heart. We need to have fun. I tell my husband every week, what are we doing for fun this week, Richard? I mean, and it has to be equal. It has to be things he likes, it has to be things I like. And fortunately, I've taken on his things, so we both like some of the same things, but he likes to do some of the stuff. He'll take me to the mall and go window shopping, and we have so much fun. We go up the elevator, and I hold on to him. And what's funny is to watch the teenagers see us doing this, because they look at us like, you know. And what's really, the other day there was a store closed at the mall, and I grabbed him, and we went in the corner where it was dark, and we were kissing, and we came out. This one guy, I don't know if he was grossed out or horrified or... You know, and we hold hands and we put our arms around each other's waist and we walk around the mall like teenagers, because that's what teenagers do. Or that's what they wish they could do. You know, you look at kids, I know this is silly. I have a circle driveway at my house. And you come in and it's a neat circle. And my husband and I are blessed. We have some college young men that live we have a basement that's turned into a rental, and they have a separate entrance. They come in downstairs and they live down there, and they basically pay our mortgage. And so they sometimes park in this circle driveway. I like to be able to drive in, pull up, go into my house, and come out without having to back up. And I love that circle driveway. What does a little kid do? You take them to the mall, a child, and they see an open space, and they're about 5 years old. What do they do when they see that open space? Take off running, don't they? Am I right? And what does mom and dad do? Stop! You never want your kid to run. And so, or get dirty, or get in a mud puddle, or experience anything because it's inconvenient, you know? And so I pretended, I got breast cancer 3.5 years ago, and I made two decisions. One was I was gonna stop being a workaholic. And two was I was gonna exercise, and three was I was gonna let my kid reign more, my kid come out of me. So when I get into the circle and it's open, I pretend I'm 5 years old and I just keep on driving. And I go around the circle, and I go around the circle. And the first time I did it, my husband leans out, he goes, Mario Andretti, Dale Earnhardt, who's in my driveway? Well, now the neighbors, I've been doing it for 3.5 years now, and now the neighbors look at me sort of strange. She's driving around and around in circles. And what's really neat, when the neighbors across the street, they have a circle driveway, they're not home, I do a figure eight. I mean, is it sinful? No. Is it crazy? Yes. But you know, we've got this locked in thing. We have so many rules that are not in the 10 Commandments. You can't get dirty. You can't go out in the rain. You can't ride a bike when it's cold. I remember numerous times Mrs. Evans and I riding in Cherville, and I got her up on a bike, helped her pick out a bike when I've always loved biking, and I took it back when I got being sick. I took it back as an adult, and I mean 10, 20 miles a day. I was riding Tuesday night, got home from a funeral Tuesday night, I wanted to get on my bike because I'd been cooped up with people. Got on my bike and did 9 miles Tuesday night, 5 o'clock this week. Love it, absolutely love it. I pray, I talk to God, I look at the leaves. But I remember going down the street, 5 o'clock in the morning, Cherville, Indiana. Mrs. Evans said, Carol, don't listen to the news. The media ruins everything. It's too cold to go out. It's too hot to go out. There's ozone today, stay in. And she was waxing eloquent, and you know, it was about 45 degrees, and it was December, and there wasn't any snow, and we were riding our bikes. You know, I mean, I'm sure if anybody saw us, they think we were crazy. We had masks on and our coats and, you know, our gloves. But she's right. We have all these rules. Why? We can't go play in mud. We can't dig in the dirt. We can't go into the water you can't walk into the Lake Michigan with your clothes on. You know, well, what's wrong with that? So your clothes are gonna get wet. Are your clothes eternal? You taking your clothes to heaven with you? No. You know, we care so, and I know you don't want your child to go out and in his clothes get into the mud puddle before Sunday school on Sunday. I realize that. But he could have some clothes that were designed just for mud puddles. You know, an old pair of clothes that you could pick up at Goodwill. I remember when Mrs. Evans was sick, and I didn't get my card for what time I went on. Do you know what time I stop? Okay, if you bring it up to me, I'm sorry. Mrs. Evans was a great lady for going against the grain. The quote is, if it's not sinful and it's not illegal and it's not immoral, do it. Get it? If it's not illegal, if it's not immoral or sinful, do it. I had a brother who was a quadriplegic from MS, and when he came out of the coma, thank you so much. When he came out of the coma, he was just waking up. And she said he has to experience life. And she wanted to take him out to the woods and let him lay in the leaves and touch the leaves. Now, I don't know whether Keith wanted to do this or not. You know, he was a grown man, 200 pounds, big, tall, paralyzed guy. But she talked me into getting him ready, and it happened to be Halloween time. So I believe Chris and Jane were with me. You guys were with me. And there was a cowgirl, a clown, and an Indian. We were all dressed up. And here we are with Keith on a stretcher. We haul him out to the woods. We throw him in the leaves. And he was partially blind, and she's going, Keith, feel the leaves. She sat down right next to him. She took his hand, shoved in the leaves. And Keith, it's beautiful. And she wanted pizza because, you have to have some good food. So we sent for pizza. So here we are, Mrs. Evans, a paralyzed 6'4", 200-pound guy on a stretcher, a cowboy, a clown, and an Indian sitting in the leaves. Now, if you saw that, what would you think? And so, a little side to the story, you can't tell it long, but an older man came up, stared. Chris went to talk to him. I think Miss Evans sent him over there. She led him to the Lord. Couldn't believe it. His family, he was actually from our town, Cherville, Indiana. And his family had been praying, I don't know how many years, Chris, 20, 30, 40 years for him to get saved. And us having fun in the leaves. He happened to be in the same park in Illinois where we were. Sauce happened to be. The Lord planned it. Having fun is a serious business. General ideas go back to what people did before TV. Board games are very important. My husband and I have a game night every week. We have an 8-year Rook Championship going on. And I'm serious, and he's ahead. I'm trying to catch up. And we have tournaments. You have to win 10 tournaments to get a championship. It's 3-2 in championships, but it's 8-1 in tourneys, so I'm getting ready to tie him. And we have our scoreboard, we have our drawer where we keep everything. We do not play with face cards, but we do. Rook is not face cards. We don't do anything like that. Gambling, poker, etc. We do play dominoes. Texas 42 is one of the most fun games. Sports. Again, here we are. We're overweight because we don't move our bodies. When I was growing up, everything we did was outside. Volleyball, baseball, football. Every family activity, we were playing outside picnic. Do you know you can go to Sport Mart and get a $35 very nice setup for volleyball? It's got the ropes, it's got everything, so you can put the margins, you can put it up in your backyard for the whole summer. Put it up in May, leave it up till October, you can play volleyball. Very, very great thing to do. But getting sports, my dad permanently put volleyball poles in our backyard, so we just always played it. The Evanses have been to my house, the Smiths, all kinds of different people would come over. We'd have a big picnic, and then we'd go out to the backyard and play volleyball. And it's so much. Now what do? We all come in and we watch video. We've got to go back to what we did. The Bible says, remove not the aged landmarks, remove not the aged. Very subtly, the devil's taken away our family socialization. We just we throw up a permanent tree. And I realize you might have allergies, you probably can't, maybe you can't, but you can go put a tree up together on Friday. And I don't like to put the tree up before Thanksgiving because I think Thanksgiving, which is a wonderful holiday, gets robbed. There's a lot you can do. And I'm putting these activities, five a month, into the Christian Womanhood. Mrs. Scott asked me to do it. So you're going to get ideas. Nature. I think I said, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee. Find the nature in your area. Again, we spend a lot of money going to Disney World. I'm not against Disney World, but it is man-made when there's a whole God world out there. Do you know national parks? My parents took me to Yellowstone when I was a young girl. It's only $25 to get into Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park is located in 3 states, Montana, I think Wyoming, and Colorado. Believe it or not, it has the most mammals, wildlife in the entire country. You can go see bears, buffaloes, elk, wolves. It's phenomenal. Mrs. Evans had never been there until I told her about my trips, and she took her kids, and when they came into the park, the first thing David saw was a great horned owl, 3 foot tall, sitting right in the road. Get to these national parks. I know you say, well, Mrs. Tudor, I don't have the money, but you know, if you start saving, it's not a lot. You could drive, spell off. It's $25 to get into Yellowstone National Park. We stayed outside the park in a little town called Gardner, Montana. I think we paid $40 a night for a whole cabin for 4 adults. You can do it. Glacier National Park is $10 for 7 days. Some of you live far away, but you know the Smoky Mountain National Park, which is in Mrs. Evans' favorite national park, which is in Tennessee, it's free. Entrance fee free. Get out to nature. Find the bike trails in your area and walk and bike them. I think you ladies know we're not really living in a real gorgeous, beautiful area. Brother Howes used to call this the armpit of the nation. Hammond, Indiana. But you know what we've got? We actually have a wildlife bird refuge over here in Whiting, where when birds are migrating through, they come and they are in that area. You can get your binoculars, get yourself a bird book. You say, how can that be interesting? You'd be shocked. Nature there's no end to it. When you start experiencing it and loving it and looking at it, you'll find it everywhere. We actually have a park an hour and a half from here, Jasper Pulaski Wild Park. 70,000 sandhill cranes will be there in November. I took my nephew, David Grafton, over there to see him last spring, but more of them. They migrate down from Canada. They all stop and they eat in the fields out there. And they have a big viewing stage and get up and look at them. They're a 5 foot tall bird, folks, and they dance. They have a courtship. They have a red thing on their throat. It's awesome. There's so much to learn about it. There's over 4,000 references to nature in the Bible. But what do we know? We know all the latest videos, the devil's food, the devil's talk, the devil's entertainment, but we don't know anything about nature and what God's got for us. Do the unexpected. It's not illegal, immoral, or sinful. I think about that a lot. Mrs. Evans, one time on Halloween, she closed and locked. Okay, now this is the unexpected. Close and lock all the doors. Turn off all the lights. Take your kitchen table back to the bedroom. You're going to eat in the bedroom. Light a candle. Hire some monsters. I think it was it you? It's always you, Chris. And we get some monsters to bring in the food. So you're doing the opposite. You know, it's not against the rules. You don't have to answer. Everybody will think you're gone. When those little monsters out there ring your doorbell, you're back in the bedroom laughing because you're eating your Wendy's chili or whatever, you know, and you're having a party with your kids. It's a reverse Halloween. During winter months, have indoor picnics, put a blanket on the floor, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, make extra homemade popcorn. And by the way, I noticed my bus kids love homemade popcorn. I mean the kind I make it in olive oil on the stove because they've had microwave. And I would make a big bag of it, very cheap. And I would dump it on a blanket in my Sunday school classroom. And then after we ate it, we had a popcorn fight. They loved it. And I think they really loved messing up my hair. They threw popcorn all over me, and it was great. And then I gave a prize to the girls who cleaned the best. Let them clean it up. I've done this with leaves. Right now, go home when it's dry, pack yourself up 4 bags of leaves. Stash them somewhere. When the snow's out, get the leaves, bring them in, have a leaf fight. I actually had a program in my fall program. It was bury your teacher in the leaves. And people brought visitors so they could see their teacher. These were second graders, so they could see me buried in leaves. Anything you can do. Another idea that helps me to get excited is a little 2-point outline. Choose a theme and a color scheme. I want to tell you, it's just so much fun, planning fun for people. I've got some pictures now. It's time for me to close already. But these are they're going to go a little slower, and I'm going to just make some comments so you can get the idea. Mrs. Evans in the balls at McDonald's with her grandkids. Believe she had just come off chemotherapy. Do the unexpected, okay? It's not immoral, illegal, or fattening to get in the balls at McDonald's with your grandkids, all right? I talked her into it, got her in there, and helped her get in and out. Her kids loved her. They remember Grandma Darling because she had fun with them. And if you're sick or older, get some help. You can get help to have fun with your grandkids. It's not impossible. Planning fun is serious business. It is very serious business. Keep going, gentlemen. This is my mom, and she, right at this point, is dying from brain cancer. That's actually Carissa and Ruthie Grafton, and if you see, they came over for a birthday party. You know, we think, oh, somebody's dying, don't go, don't party, don't do anything. Look, folks, the day of your death is more important than the day of your birth. That's what Ecclesiastes says. We're supposed to be happy people are going to heaven. We celebrate when a baby's born, but Ecclesiastes says the day of your death is better than the day of your birth. I had parties every week. When my parents were dying, I had 2 parents dying of cancer at the same time. Both on chemo, both with radiation, both with brain biopsies, both with chemo, and they lost their hair, lost their teeth. I had 2 balding, toothless adults to take care of. And I just didn't want it to be sad. I wanted it to be happy time. We had pumpkins, little baby pumpkins around the deck, so when someone would come and visit, we'd let them take it home with them. Okay, keep going, gentlemen. This is Mrs. Evans and I dressed up as Minnie Pearl. We rented Minnie Pearl costumes, and that's a dorm room where we're standing there singing with the college girls. And again, you can get costumes at Goodwill, different places. Don't be afraid to dress up. Some of you have great alter egos buried in you, and we don't know who you are. There's another Jojo Moffat out there. There's another, I don't hope there's not another beastie monster witch woman, but there's another Snow White. Keep going, gentlemen. This is Mrs. Holbrook, Mrs. Evans' Sunday school teacher, who taught her to rejoice in the Lord always. This is a birthday party we threw for Mrs. Evans when I first came to the college. We flew Mrs. Holbrook up, and you see those are just tissue carnations on the back of that. We made a backdrop. We made a thing. You know, honoring people is so much fun. You can do that with your kids. You can go to a shut-in's house and have an activity with your Sunday school kids and make it special, okay? My husband dressed as a clown. My husband and I did not know it. We've both been to clown school. That is scary. We both went to a professional clown school before we were married, and later, after we got married, we pulled out our clown costumes and found out we both were. He loves being a clown. Keep going, gentlemen. My mom and dad, I guess I came by it naturally. Here they are dressed up at a reunion with the guitar, singing. They came as Sadie and Clem. They had their alter egos and put on wigs and dressed up. So I guess I came by it naturally. Okay, gentlemen. Mrs. Evans on her bike with her grandkids. Had balloons, and if you see there, her hair's real short. She's just coming out of chemotherapy. Get those bicycles. Get the kids up moving. It would help so many of us if we had kept moving, not have the weight problem. Our teenagers are having weight problems because we're not moving them. Okay, gentlemen? Me as Mrs. Claus. Single people, don't feel sorry for yourself on holidays. Get out there and do something for the kids. When I was single, I dressed up as Mrs. Claus, went on all the bus routes, Sunday school classes. I was so tired by the time Christmas came, I didn't care that I didn't have a family. I dressed everybody up. My dog had a little red velvet outfit. I took him around. I think I gave away 80 pounds of chocolate one Christmas. Okay? Easter, dress up in a classroom. Just, again, easy costumes made out of paper, ears made out of paper. Keep going. My dad and I at Yellowstone, when my parents were dying of cancer, I packed them up. They had a trip planned. They still wanted to go, and this is us in, I believe that's one of the, maybe Crater Lake, I don't know, but somewhere out in Oregon, maybe Yellowstone, okay? This is just to show you, and of course I didn't know Brother Boyd was going to be up there. That's wonderful. Themes, wedding themes. Themes, you want to carry the theme through. Pick a color scheme and a theme, whatever you do. If it's a wedding, if it's a Friday night, you're going to have football. My husband doesn't know it, but I'm going to find a Detroit hat and a Detroit shirt, and Saturday night when I deliver his popcorn, I'm going to be dressed up in his team. And whatever it is, pick a theme. Okay, gentlemen, keep going. Mrs. Evans bobbing for apples. And ladies, this was at a wedding reception. That lady would do, look, it's not immoral, fattening, or illegal. Having fun is serious business. Keep going, gentlemen. I got to have my husband up there again. Get him off of there. I can't see what that is. Oh, dolls, a theme, again, using a theme. Okay, keep going. Pirates, a great theme is finding your treasure. Everybody can dress up as pirates. You can find clothes easy. You can find hats easy. Again, Goodwill, Salvation Army. Okay. 55 and still alive. I love alliteration. This is just a simple red, white, and blue party. Happy birthday to my husband when he turned 55 and still alive, and that's us kissing. Hey, you know, Mrs. Rice used to say, kiss more and talk less. Keep going. Easy poster. Sunday school girls, when Mrs. Evans was taking chemo, we took the decorations, went to a park, picked them out, paid for them at the garden center, brought them to her house, and decorated her porch. I actually had a lady, she said, I'm not going to let my daughter come to your Sunday school class party, but when I heard you were going to decorate Mrs. Evans' door as a part of the party, I let her come. Thank you, gentlemen. Take